What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. Link will be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. PayPal link there also. Asked me to put it up, so I put it up. Thanks everybody for supporting. This video is entitled What About the Broken Black Men? Some things was going on in my life. And what is that old, is a Frederick Douglass quote, you can have, it's easier to work with children than broken men. I can't say it verbatim right now, but I think it's dysfunctional, because you come across brothers who are broken and nobody cares. Even brothers who are functional and who you would call providers and protectors, they've been broken in some way, but nobody cares. Like, what about the broken black men? I was looking at Creed 2, and Rocky was talking to Creed Adonis, and he was like, the dude, God dog it, the Russian cat. He's like, he broke things in me that ain't never been fixed. And I started thinking about things that happen in life in general with men, where we don't really have anybody to talk to about when we got broken. And the reason I thought about Creed 2 is because when he was broken, he jumped down at the bottom of a pool and started screaming. And it made me think about Chess Records. I forgot the name of the movie. But when it was a Jeffrey Wright who played Muddy Waters Lost, the dude that played with Columbus Short, that played the harmonica, he went in the bathroom and cried, and Gabrielle Union's character just couldn't do nothing. And I was like, man, men are broken all around us, especially brothers, and there's nothing. And part of what brought this to me was listening to Byron Allen on a Breakfast Club talking about running his business from his kitchen table, or dining room table, and he was meeting these executives, and the one guy, he was around other executives, I think Mr. King or something, and he was around other executives, and they was laughing at how they was going to never give him a shot. And he didn't like that. And brothers get broken like that all the time when they work for an opportunity and people deny them or sabotage their opportunities. And, like Byron Allen was fortunate. His persistence paid off, but there are so many brothers whose persistence didn't pay off. And they're broken because of that. And nobody cares unless you make enough money to take care of somebody else. And I think that becomes problematic, because there are so many brothers who now, if you don't make $100,000 plus and you can't take care of somebody else who's broken, then you're worthless. And this is even if you're broken yourself, And I think it becomes a dangerous thing for the community, because unfortunately people don't want to take into consideration that the same guys you asking to provide and protect for everybody is the same guys that you don't, if they're broken men, you don't care about them. You disregard them, like that I think that Frederick Douglass quote. You just throw them to the wayside, but you focus on the boys. But here's the problem: you're not focused on the boys, because the grown men know when they were boys, nobody focused on them. They were broken when they were boys. They were broken, in the classrooms. They were broken by some of the coaches. They were broken by some of by the family. They were broken, by friends and betrayal. They were broken by the environment. And some people, fix themselves to the best of their ability, but that doesn't mean that they were fixed entirely. And now it's the situation where you don't really have these guys. Guys don't have anybody to talk to, and you try to confide in. You can't really confide in the sisters because you can't trust them with quote unquote your truth, because a lot of them use it against you. It's a that vulnerability creates an avenue to emasculate you, and guys know this. That's why they don't share things with women, even their family members, even mothers, aunts, sisters. It's just nah. And with the young boys being broken, the grown men being broken, and everybody's wanting to rebuild. And it's like, who are these guys building for? The very people who they can't even confide in. You want people to help you grow in the world, and they can't trust you to have their back in their most vulnerable moments. Sad to say this, but a lot of times in real life when I see men cry, they can only cry around other men. The men are the only ones who understand. A lot of times when these brothers are in pain, they can only express it to other brothers. A lot of people don't understand. And I'm not talking about people who are just who are creating a struggle narrative. I'm talking about people who really put themselves on the line, who've given life, who've given their all, and got gypped. Talking about people who got their hearts broken. Not just in relationships, but in life. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about people who got, a situation broke them. Like I got family members who wound up doing decades for frivolous crimes because they got arrested in like the 70s, 70s, 60s, 70s. And you don't realize how that breaks people. The men in my own family that got molested by women. To a degree, those guys are broken, but nobody cared. The violence that could break something in you. They're not understanding, not being able to communicate because you don't know how to talk without using violence. Not being able to trust people because people use trust as people use your innermost dreams and aspirations as the base of the knife that they stab you in the back with. It breaks guys, guys who have their faith in God shaken. Nobody cares. What about them though? Like what about these guys? Like what do people like? And nobody's trying to help these guys. Nobody's trying to help fix these guys. The same compassion that you want and empathy that you want to have for the children and the women, you don't have for the men. The very men you want to do these great, grandiose things to make everybody else's lives better. But, if we don't talk about the men who are broken and the ones that are really, not just functional but dysfunctional, because another reason, it always chokes me up, they had this video of this black man who was homeless, and the dude, he was telling the story where the dude called him a bum, and all he could say was God bless you. He was like, look, I'm a human being though, I'm not a bum, I'm on hard times. And he said the guy came back, gave him $30, and I was thinking to myself, like, y'all don't understand how it breaks a man to be in that position, knowing you did the best you could. Because everybody ain't homeless because they made bad decisions. Some people are homeless because that was the circumstance, and there's a lot of kids that are homeless. But when a man's in that position, you know, and I can say this. I mean, I remember when I was in college, I was living out of my car at a time, and one weekend I had a girlfriend because she saw the situation unfold, and one weekend I just broke down. Like I was at our house, I was in her kitchen, and I just broke down, and she just kind of looked at me like, I guess she didn't know what to do. But after that, she found a new boyfriend. And I was like, okay, lesson learned. So what about, and then when I started moving around in life, started realizing, man, these, guys don't really have a place to go for that. And if you're looking for greatness, even the guys in great positions are broken in some ways because of things that happen to them. But money, everybody wants the money from the situation, but you got to care about these men's humanities first, man. Because if you don't, you can't expect them to do anything for you when you don't even care about them. Just saying. Like, share, subscribe. Catch you on the next one. It's probably too serious, but peace.